Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Weekly Allowance, YouTube's only YouTube channel. Weird how, out of all the topics that exist in the world, YouTube's only YouTube channel is a toy review channel. It's funny how life works. Today we are continuing our foray into the new Cosmic Legion's OxKrewe wave with Vellok Speer. And there's a reason that I chose to look at this one today. I wonder if you can spot it already. It's hard to see inside the packaging, but maybe you can see it. Look past the plastic. Past the dog fur. Can you see it, Mr. Krabs? That's right, there's a paint defect right on the face. So I wanted to go ahead and open this one up because the paint defect, even from looking outside in, is pretty noticeable. It looks like we're going to have to request an unblemished head from Four Horsemen, so I wanted to go ahead and open him up, make sure everything else was shipshape. Quick look at the packaging because we've already kind of gotten the gist of the packaging from the other two figures we looked at. Got the OxKrewe icon up here. Short blurb about the story, a blurb about our character, and the line on the back. Very heavy, as I'm sure you can imagine. This guy is fully decked out in this big, chunky spacesuit, and the weight definitely reflects that. So let's go ahead and free him from his plastic prison. Alright, now that we've gotten him out of the box, the first thing I'm going to do is pop off this head. Pop, because we want to get a good look at that defect. Yep, it's just that some of the beard paint got right on the tip of the nose, and usually little mistakes like that don't bother me, but when it's in such a central place, and not only that, but there's a streak of lighter paint or some kind of paint chip up at the head. It's just really noticeable, unusual for Four Horsemen, I would say, and for a figure like this with this price point, you expect better. So yeah, this is an occasion to contact Four Horsemen and ask for a replacement head. For something like this, you don't need a whole new figure. Just one part will do. But for now, I mean, we'll go ahead and review him with this flawed head. He does come with another one, so we'll see what's up with that one, if there's a defect there as well. So there are 3 of these armored figures in the line. There's this guy, his wife, and then their demolition tech, who is this like big green cabbage-headed guy. The head sculpts take a real backseat to this suit. The suits are the real star of these 3 character designs, I think. I'm more comfortable talking about organic sculpts. I'm just a little bit out of my wheelhouse. I will say the color is amazing. It's beautiful. I've said it before, blue and orange go really well together, and they work together seamlessly on this figure. There's also some pops of orange in the suit itself, which is really nice because it ties back to the head. Very cohesive. That is something I look for in these character designs. I mean, if you want a big, chunky spacesuit, a big, hefty piece of plastic, this is your guy. He is a chunky boy. I mean, he's probably pretty svelte under all there if you can look past the armor, but yeah, this is a chunky suit. Includes life support, I suppose, because for the 3 members of the OxKrewe, this guy, his wife, and Orvar, we only see them in these suits. They don't have any other leisure clothing or anything. So I'm assuming that this is for surviving on the hostile planet they're stranded on. But as usual with Four Horsemen figures, it is just packed with detail. Lots of little tubes, lots of rivets, some panels. I like these big joints at the hip. Looks like pneumatic parts on the boots. You've got a little OxKrewe emblem right there. More tubing around the neck. Really cool looking suit. You can even see in the back where it probably that's where it's supposed to latch on. And these big clumpy feet remind me of elephant feet. Look at the bottom there. Looks like these could house some thrusters as well. He does come with a lot of little doodads to put on this belt here. I will be attaching those, but I wanted to look at articulation first. So let's do that. Wide range of movement on the head. It is just on a ball, but if you look here, there's also a hinge joint that has a pretty wide radius. Head's easy to put on and off, which is very nice. I'm trying to get him all into frame and it's difficult because of my little T-Rex arms. So these pauldrons lift up. When you look under there, you also get some more detail. There's a number 3, it looks like under there on his shoulder. Another OxKrewe emblem under here. I actually think these rotate. So these pauldrons do lift and they also swivel. This is an entirely separate piece in the arm and the armor, so it can swivel back so you can get some unobstructed movement in the arms. I did have to heat him up quite a lot to get this movement going though. That is one piece of advice I would definitely recommend. Heat, heat, heat. Otherwise you risk breaking this. You don't want to do that. So yeah, but very cool that it swivels. That will save a lot of frustration, I think. So it swivels, hinges, position the arm, hinge it back down, whichever way you need it. But here you can get a better look at the emblems underneath. Another nice pop of orange to correlate with his skin color. So not only do you get a twist at the torso here, but you also get one at the waist. It looks like that's a ball joint. So you get a little bit of crunch too. Ooh, actually a lot of crunch. Let's look at the arm movement up. Of course, you've got rotation there. Single elbow with a rotation also. You've got a big ball joint swivel on the wrist and this hinge. Be professional. Be professional. Hinge on the leg. Forward. Back. He doesn't have the same problem as Kern Ray. She had a butt plate that was pretty pronounced, so her leg wouldn't go back. Not much movement on the knee just because the armor's so chunky. Some swivel there. Big hinge and swivel at the feet. So he comes with some things that will fill out his suit even more. All these little doodads. Oh, I'm afraid I'm gonna drop one. It's gonna be lost forever. They're not that small. I think you'd be able to find these. Have you ever lost something and it's just like, I guess goblins took it? Because you've looked everywhere and you just cannot find it? I feel like I've had a few things like that and it's always troubling. Like either I'm going crazy or there is something supernatural happening. Maybe both. All right, all these doodads go on his belt. I don't think it matters where they go. All these little bits are just gray. I'm trying to put them to where they won't get in the way of the articulation. It's just a nice way of filling out that suit even more. Like I said, I'm not sure if there's a way they're supposed to go on, but it is your toy. You can do whatever you want with it. So now he's even chunkier. I will say that in the promo pictures for this guy, these canisters, these little extras that go around the belt, they had a patina on them or like some kind of weathering, but here they're just stark gray. It is kind of unusual for 4 horsemen. There's usually some kind of paint or weathering on all the pieces. So he also comes with this cable. You can plug it in pretty much anywhere. There to here or wherever. He also comes with this backpack, so you could plug it in there too. So usually when I review these things, I don't watch other reviews first. I just like to go in blind and kind of discover things for myself or not discover them as it were. But I did watch a couple of reviews for these figures, just him and Orvar, and both reviews I watched mentioned this, that there's this little piece that plugs into the back. This is where the connector for the backpack goes on. And on both those reviews, 2 different reviewers, that came out. So it's the same on mine. So I don't know. I don't know if that's just a defect or if it's supposed to do that for like a future attachment or what. But as I said, more ports. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, this might be a problem because it wants to come out really easily. Oh no. I don't think the other reviews had ones that came out this easily. Maybe it's just because I heated it up so much. Ooh, but yeah, that's gonna be an issue. Might be worth mentioning that to 4 horsemen as well. Putting it in upside down seems to mitigate some of the looseness, but yeah, that is something to pay attention to for sure. Ooh, it's already wanting to fall out again. Suit's even more chunky with it on. I really don't know how long it's gonna stay in there though. There's also this flashlight type thing. Again, not very weathered, just that's kind of strange for 4 horsemen. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't complain because the rest of the figure is so finely detailed, but it just looks a little bland, you know? Just this stark gray against the rest of this highly painted, highly detailed figure. It's a little odd. Would you be surprised to learn that that is not it by a long shot? He also comes with this collar and this helmet. I'm just going to take this backpack off because it keeps falling out, unfortunately. Yeah, I really don't know what to do about that. If this isn't supposed to come out, I have no problem just gluing it in myself. But if it is, then it's just like the tension isn't tight enough to keep it in there, which is a problem. But anyway, let's move on to the collar. So it just uses tension to stay in there, and then you've got this clear dome that you can put on top if you so choose. I think I prefer it without. Yeah, there's enough clearance between the back and the backpack that you can fit this collar in between them if it'll stay. So he will also come with this helmeted head sculpt. Plug this in, looks like a little robot without the face. You also get just a kind of a generic just metal faceplate. So this doesn't have to be a dude. It can just be like a nameless astronaut guy. But if you want him to still be the dude and have the helmet, he comes with an alternate faceplate. This one's a bit more pronounced. You can definitely see the scar better on the faceplate version. No paint defects on that one. Yeah, I like that look better. It's a real like space marine type look. Doesn't look like he's trying to survive. It looks like he is thriving. So I thought that these would be the same hands but on a different axis. It turns out that they are holding things hands, where these are trigger finger hands, which makes sense. Because he also comes with a gun, a very nice blaster. Once again, it's kind of like green-brown. I don't know if that's coming across on the screen. Yeah, it's kind of like a bronzy color, which is really cool, but doesn't necessarily match with his color scheme. But that is a nice looking gun. He's also got whatever this thing is, chainsaw gun. No, I think it's just a chainsaw. It's a little involved for a chainsaw. I think this advanced society might have gone a little overboard. I feel like an earth chainsaw is simpler. But yeah, this is similar to a couple of the other things we've seen in the Cosmic Legions line. Vorga's weapon has this body. The Sphexian Miner has this kind of thing, but with a drill bit attached. So now you get a chainsaw option. And this can come out. You can put something different there. I don't know what, but you could. All right, so let's look at him with a few different figures. Here he is with my personal favorite, the Lowland Scapeback. As you can see, and I mentioned this in the review, it's very top heavy, so it doesn't really like to stand the way I'd like it to stand. Here is OxKrewe, my other favorite figure. Again, much like with the Olek Thygar figure I compared her to in her review, the proportions seem a little bit off. This looks more like a 1.0 even though it's a brand new sculpt, and she looks more like a 2.0, just larger proportions there. Because if you compare their heads, her head is definitely bigger. She's also taller, which is strange because this guy looks massive. He's wearing this huge suit, and she's got a lot of stuff going on, but in comparison, she's mostly unadorned. So yeah, the scale there is odd, but I mean, also, these are both aliens. He could just be from a smaller race than her. She could, you know, like I said, be a giant woman. Here he is against Marvel Legends Mr. Fantastic. Scale-wise, looks pretty good, actually. He looks appropriately massive next to him. Here he is next to a Star Wars Black Series Neil that Patrick customized into being a wasteland survivor. I mean, it looks really good, but look at what he did to my boy. My boy having to survive on the fringes of society. And here he is with another Black Series Star Wars kid from Skeleton Crew. I forget her name because the only one that matters is Neil. So if you pair him with the appropriate figures, he looks quite massive. But yeah, compared to OxKrewe, not that impressive, weirdly. So to recap, this was not one of the ones that I was looking forward to the most. Still think it's a really cool looking figure, very involved. A couple of QC issues make it less exciting to me. Going to have to figure out what's going on with this backpack, because that's definitely a piece I'd like to have on him, just to fill him out even more, make him even bulkier, but I mean, just comes out so easily. In addition, the parts that you put on this belt, they also like to come out pretty easily. I don't know if I'm just not attaching them wrong, if there's a certain way they need to be. I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be like random. I think you can mix and match, but I have had problems with a couple of pieces falling off. The hole for this blaster is a little bit shallow, so it doesn't want to stay on these pegs. I'm not even sure if it was meant to, so I can't really complain about that. But I mean, it should be. One last thing I want to mention, the hands are very stiff. They are not rubbery. You are definitely going to have to heat these up if you want him to hold even the blaster, but definitely this chainsaw thing, because this is also stiff plastic. I fear that if you try to force his hands on these weapons, something will get broken. So either heat up the hands or the weapons or both. That would be my advice. So yeah, cool looking figure, some issues with it for sure. I can't help but think that the other two suited figures in this line are going to have the same issues. But we won't know that until we look at them. So, as always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. and I will see you guys on the next one.